You tapping in real quick for this UFC fight night card, Matheus Nicolau versus Alex Perez. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into it. The first fight of the night being Benitez versus Old Boy. We calling him Old Boy because I don't know how to pronounce his name. Now, I'm kicking off the card with a dog and Benitez to go ahead and get this one done for a few different reasons. You dig me? Old Boy on the other side of things, I believe his record's 9-3. Those 9 victories coming against competition that have combined records of 66 wins and 44 losses. Just not great competition. You understand what I'm saying to you? We're on the other side of things. Benitez, he has 14 fights just inside the UFC where his record's 7-7. You understand what I'm saying to you? That level of competition right there, undeniably incomparable to Old Boy's level of competition. You understand what I'm saying to you? I have to respect the body of work, the resume, and the level of competition from Benitez's side of things, more so than the body of work, the resume, and the level of competition from Old Boy's side of things. You understand what I'm saying to you? Not to say that there's not a night where Old Boy could possibly clip Benitez and put him down to secure the victory, but more so than not, I have Benitez clipping this young man and cleaning him up, meaning he knocks him clean the fuck out, or he hops on him, slips in his submission, and secures the victory inside the distance one way or the other. You understand what I'm saying to you? Like, Benitez is a dangerous motherfucker, and in this fight right here, he's by far the more dangerous individual. He's more well-rounded. He possesses more tools, more skills, and more routes to the victory inside that octagon. You understand what I'm saying to you? We're on the other side of things. In my personal opinion, in this fight right here, Old Boy only possesses a puncher's chance. Not to say that he doesn't have it, as can be seen when he clipped Steve Garcia. You understand what I'm saying to you? They secure a victory inside the UFC, but clipping Steve Garcia is nothing to brag about, in my personal opinion. I more so respect the 9 knockout victories and 10 submission victories from the Benitez side of things than anything going on Old Boy's side of things. And I personally have Benitez knocking him out or clipping him and slipping in the submission to secure the victory inside the distance on Saturday. So I'm kicking off the card with a dog, but we inside the dog house, so I don't know what you expected. You understand what I'm saying to you? We're gonna keep it moving. The second fight, Ivana versus Na, I'm still offering no pick, no lean, and no advice other than to leave this fight the fuck alone. It's low-level women's MMA, 0-1 inside the UFC against 0-3 inside the UFC. Both these young women's contracts and jobs are at jeopardy. Regardless of the outcome, both of these young women could very well be cut from the UFC promotion come Sunday morning. You understand what I'm saying to you? We're going to keep it moving. The Gabe versus James fight was canceled, but Chris Padilla stepped up, so now it's Chris versus James. You understand what I'm saying to you? It's Taco versus Goku. It's the battle of the nicknames. You understand what I'm saying to you? Now you have 2 young men making their UFC debuts. You feel what I'm saying to you? And one of these individuals making their UFC debut is like a -350, like a sizable favorite. That's ridiculous for an individual making their UFC debut. But maybe they just know something that I don't. Maybe Goku's that guy when it comes to this fight right here, and he gonna put Taco back to where the fuck he came from. But I don't know. There's no statistics as far as Taco's side of things goes that I'm privy to anyway, because he didn't make a showing on the Dana White Contender Series. But on the other side of things, James, Goku, he made a showing on the Dana White Contender Series, so we privy to a little bit of his statistics. You understand what I'm saying to you? With that being said, it's 2 individuals that are making their UFC debuts, and they already have one of them as a very, very, very big favorite. -350, almost -400 in my opinion. That's crazy. But like I said, maybe individuals know something that I don't know. It's an easy pass for me because I don't advise anybody to, nor do I bet or parlay, you know, women's MMA, heavyweight MMA, individuals that are making their UFC debuts, individuals that are -500 or above. If I got too many question marks on your head, you understand what I'm saying to you? First fight of the night, last fight of the night. There's a lot of shit that I like to cut out. And once I do that, once I trim all that fat, my parlays, they tend to smack. You understand what I'm saying to you? And this checks a lot of boxes. Both these individuals are making their UFC debuts. We can go ahead and check that off. Question marks on both sides. We can go ahead and check that off. You understand what I'm saying to you? We just leaving this one alone. No pick, no lean. I'm sure, you know, the rest of these respectable outlets out here will dig deeper into that one for you and have dug deeper into it for you. I'm just not going to do it for the reasons I stated. So far in these first 3 fights, I'll offer you one pick, and that's the dog and Benitez to get it done inside the distance. Nothing on Ivana and Nah, nothing on Taco and Goku. You understand what I'm saying to you? Right on over to more of the shit show, which is Man versus Souza. 0-2 in the UFC against 0-1 in the UFC. Low-level women's MMA. It just checks off all kinds of boxes for me. Not to even get involved in it. You understand what I'm saying to you? Not to mention that I don't feel like we're going to be talking about either one of these 4 young ladies that are involved in these prelim fights. You understand what I'm saying to you? Come this time next year in any kind of a UFC conversation. I mean, you take these 4 women and you put them together. There is 0 wins and 7 losses between the 4 of them. You understand what I'm saying to you? Like it's 0-1 against 0-3, and then it's 0-2 against 0-1. Like it's fucking ridiculous. No pick, no lean. Leave it the fuck alone if you know what I mean. You understand what I'm saying to you? Mays versus Machado. It's fucked up that I'm actually excited to get to this fight. You understand what I'm saying to you? I never thought that I would say I'm excited to get to a Dontel Mays fight. It's heavyweight MMA. It checks boxes for me. There's question marks on both sides. It checks boxes for me, but we actually gonna get to a lean on this one. And it's fucked up, but the more I dug into this fight, I found myself making a case for Dontel Mays. You understand what I'm saying to you? To go ahead and get this one done, possibly on the cards, very boringly, but by a unanimous decision. You understand what I'm saying to you? Austin Lane, I'm saying Austin Lane. That's further up the card. Dontel Mays, the man's got 11 fights inside the UFC. He's on the wrong side of those 11 fights at 5 wins and 6 losses. You understand what I'm saying to you? But there's still a lot that can be said about 11 fights inside the UFC, especially inside the heavyweight division. Making that walk to the octagon 11 times. You understand what I'm saying to you? You know what it's like to win inside the distance. You know what it's like to lose inside the distance. You know what it's like to lose on the cards. You understand what I'm saying to you? Like you have that experience, man. That walk to the octagon, whether it's in the apex or it's with an audience, the commentators, the motherfucking judges, the referees, just everything that's going on. You have that. You have 11 fights worth of that experience up under your belt. You understand what I'm saying to you? And on the other side of things with Machado, he's 1-1 inside the UFC. So there's still a little bit of a chip on his shoulder there. There's still a little bit of wanting to prove himself and prove some shit. You understand what I'm saying to you? And I understand there's a lot of individuals that might feel like Machado's going to come in here and just sleep Dontel Mays and put him out. But with that being said, you know, it's going to start on the feet. You understand what I'm saying to you? Mays does possess a 3-inch reach when it's on the feet. But I see Mays, in my personal opinion, only using his strikes to get in close, get this man up against the cage, stomp on the feet, land some strikes in the clinch. You understand what I'm saying to you? In close, possibly sweep him or trip him down to the ground and look for a submission. Like, I don't see him playing around too much with Machado and giving too much space and too much air and opportunity for this man to land something clean on his chin and clip him and put him out. He understands the danger that the man possesses on the other side. They're both heavyweights inside the UFC octagon. You understand what I'm saying to you? At any given time, either one of these young men could clip the other man clean and put him the fuck out. With that being said, the experience, the UFC experience, 11 fights inside the UFC, like I said, there's a lot to be said about that. As I spoke about the 14 fights that Benitez has inside the UFC. You understand what I'm saying to you? There's a lot to be said about that. That's 11 fights against a higher level of competition inside the heavyweight division of the UFC. You understand what I'm saying to you? Where Machado does not possess that. Machado is going to come in here, try to keep this on the feet and knock this man the fuck out. And I think Mays is going to drag it out and possibly make this a very boring heavyweight, low level heavyweight MMA fight, man, to almost end off the prelims. You understand what I'm saying to you? We're still stuck in this clusterfuck, which is the prelims. That I mean, I'm okay with the Benitez versus old boy fight. You understand what I'm saying to you? But the Ivana versus Nah, what the fuck, man? And at least they found somebody to step in for that to fill in James's spot and go Gabe's spot and go against James and Chris. You understand what I'm saying to you? Because that fight just got scrapped and we had to go straight from Ivana versus 9, straight into Man versus Souza. That could have very well been 30 minutes of what the fuck and why. You understand what I'm saying to you? Like, what the fuck did we deserve this? And why are you shoveling this amount of shit down our throats after a week off? Like, this is fucking disrespectful. You understand what I'm saying to you? So at least Taco stepped up to face Goku. You understand what I'm saying to you? And kept that fight slot loaded, so we didn't have to go straight 2 low-level women's MMA fights back to back. With all due respect, that would have fucking popped me. You understand what I'm saying to you? So yeah, man. The leans Mays, man. The experience with a higher level of competition inside the UFC octagon. You understand what I'm saying to you? And I just feel like Mays possesses more tools in this fight. He's a more well-rounded individual. Like, he's going to try to use wrestling. And I mean, you know, he'll normally secure 1 takedown over the course of 15 minutes, only with a 44 or 42% takedown accuracy. And that's going against Machado's like 82% takedown defense or something like that. But I'm not saying Mays is going to get him down and manhandle this man and ragdoll him, but I'm saying he's just going to get in close and push it up against the cage, shave off time, stomp on his fucking feet or something, get some shot, you know, some short shots in close, possibly trip this man if he's able to get the trip, and then, you know, do whatever work he's able to do from the top, and rinse and fucking repeat if he's unable to finish this man for 3 fucking rounds for 15 minutes and get the unanimous decision. It's not going to be fun. It's not going to be exciting. It's not going to be what we're hoping for after watching that low-level women's MMA fight. You understand what I'm saying to you? But in my personal opinion, it's the way it's going to go. So I'm leaning Mays. I believe last time I checked, at one point he was the dog. Then it was like -106 to minus something else. I don't know where it's sitting right now. But the lean's going to be Mays. Now, this next fight pisses me the fuck off, man. Hubbard versus Figlak. You understand what I'm saying to you? Because, you know, I originally just was Figlak, just based off the fact he was fighting Hubbard. You understand what I'm saying to you? And I'm just not a fan of Hubbard. I don't feel as though this young man belonged in the UFC the first go around. Definitely doesn't belong in the UFC the second go around. If Figlak is able to secure a victory on Saturday, the UFC will cut him from the promotion again come Sunday morning. You understand what I'm saying to you? But with that being said, if Figlak is able to beat Austin Hubbard come Saturday, Figlak may have very well reached his ceiling inside of the UFC. You understand what I'm saying to you? I hold no interest in either one of these young men's careers in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I haven't up until now, and I don't moving forward. You understand what I'm saying to you? Both of these individuals are individuals, like I said about individuals prior to this fight. I just don't feel as though we're going to be talking about them this time next year in a UFC conversation, not even 6 months from now. Possibly not even Sunday morning. You understand what I'm saying to you? Hubbard's got 8 fights inside the UFC, 3 victories, 5 losses. You understand what I'm saying to you? The more I dug into this fight, I found myself making a case for yet another dog, that dog being Austin fucking Hubbard. And trust and believe when I tell you I didn't want to have to make a case for this man. But it's like when you look at what you have to look at, you understand what I'm saying to you, and the body of work that these 2 individuals possess, the game plans that they're going to come into this octagon with, you understand what I'm saying to you, and then you take a look at their resumes, their body of works, and their level of competition. Well, the level of competition has definitely been higher on Austin Hubbard's side. That's undeniable, you know, from his first stint through the UFC, the Ultimate Fighter, now this stint through the UFC. You understand what I'm saying to you? He's definitely in his career by far faced a higher level of competition than Figlak. You understand what I'm saying to you? And with that being said, I sadly, unfortunately, more so than not, see Hubbard winning this fight. Split decision or unanimous decision. You understand what I'm saying to you? I don't see anybody finishing this fight inside the distance. You understand what I'm saying to you? I would like to see Figlak finish it inside the distance with a submission or something like that. But, you know, we don't have much of a statistic when, you know, allotment to go off of with this man. You understand what I'm saying to you? As he's only 0-1. You feel what I'm saying to you as far as the UFC goes? And I don't know if that was on the Dana White Contender Series or if that was a fight inside the UFC. I didn't really dig into that, man, because like I said, I'm not interested in either one of these young men. But like I said, he only put out like a 29% striking accuracy, like a 20% takedown accuracy. All the statistics favor Austin Hubbard in this fight. You understand what I'm saying to you? The level of competition favors Austin Hubbard in this fight. The body of work, the resume favors Austin Hubbard in this fight. So unfortunately, fuck this fight, but I would probably have to lean Austin Hubbard if I was making a pick. You understand what I'm saying to you? Now this fight here, this fight excites me, man. Ronnie versus Victor. I like this fight, man. I like this fight for all kinds of reasons. You understand what I'm saying to you? Because I want to see what Victor does, man. I honestly just want to see what Victor does, man. I'm somebody who was big on him when he came in the UFC. Like, I knew his career because he crossed paths with other individuals whose careers I was following. You understand what I'm saying to you? And they came out on the wrong side of that, on the wrong side of that motherfucking victory. You feel me? And so moving forward, I followed the boy Victor Henry's career a little bit more closely. You understand what I'm saying to you? So I already kind of knew what he possessed when he came to the UFC. Now, with that being said, when he came in against Barcelos, now this ain't Hani Barcelos now. This is Hani Barcelos 2.5 years ago. This is a different individual in my personal opinion. And I had him winning that fight. Hands down, I had him winning that fight. I knew what Victor was capable of, but not against Barcelos. I had him winning that fight. He came in and put up almost 200 strikes, 180-something strikes or something like that against Barcelos. I mean, he looked fucking amazing. You understand what I'm saying to you? So when we catch him going against Rafael Assunção, now mind you, he was a dog against Hani Barcelos, and I had Barcelos winning that fight. So I missed out on that dog play. You dig me? Then he's going against Rafael Assunção, and this time he's a sizable favorite. I know Rafael Assunção. I know his whole career. I know his whole body of work and his resume. You understand what I'm saying to you? But I didn't. The way Victor fought Hani Barcelos, I didn't. If he fought Rafael Assunção half of that, it's no way Rafael Assunção, in my personal opinion, was winning that fight. And what did he do? He completely neutralized Victor. Victor went from putting up almost 200 strikes, 180-something landed against Barcelos to not even 60-something landed against Rafael Assunção, who neutralized him with his pressure. He succumbed to Rafael Assunção's takedowns, and he just couldn't do nothing with the man. You understand what I'm saying to you? Who is, in Rafael Assunção, a crafty, OG UFC veteran that knows how to get it done. You understand what I'm saying to you? Well, in this fight right here, Ronnie, I mean, he has 27 fights inside the UFC, I believe, 27, 17, 8, 1-1 inside the UFC. You understand what I'm saying to you? When we talk about body of works, and we talk about resumes, and we talk about this, that, and the third, Ronnie is another individual who is a crafty, OG UFC veteran that knows how to get shit done on these cards. You understand what I'm saying to you? He's not somebody who you gotta worry about when that last 90 seconds come in every single round, doing what he has to do to attempts to secure that round. You understand what I'm saying to you? Like, this is a man whose IQ is on point, and he knows what he's doing inside that octagon very well at what he does inside that octagon as well. And he could very well play the role as Rafael Assunção, as a crafty OG UFC veteran that knows what to do in there to get shit done on the cards and neutralize Victor Henry. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not sitting here saying the pick is Ronnie or the lean is Ronnie. I'm leaving this fucking fight alone. Only thing I am saying to you is, if you're one of those individuals that had a parlay party with Victor Henry or did something with Victor in some way, shape, form, or fashion inside the distance or some kind of prop, just do yourself a favor, man, and go ahead and put something light on Ronnie's money line to secure your back door just in case that shit don't fall through, man. Because in Victor Henry, we are dealing with a very inconsistent, very unreliable and untrustworthy individual when it comes to fight night. You understand what I'm saying to you? Almost 200 strikes, 180-something landed against Barcelos, not even 60-something landed, completely neutralized by Rafael Assunção. Then against Tony Gravely, over 160-something strikes landed after stuffing multiple takedowns and succumbing to a few takedowns. Then the next fight, no contest, we're not going to talk about that one. That was too short. We're going to leave that alone. So we're right here. You understand what I'm saying to you? You went against Barcelos and put up them crazy numbers and looked amazing. You go against Rafael Assunção, you get neutralized by this crafty OG UFC veteran. You understand what I'm saying to you? You go against Tony Gravely and you get the job done. You know what I mean? You look to be your old self like you were in the UFC debut against Barcelos. Now here you are against another crafty OG UFC veteran that I just don't trust you to show up and do what you need to do to get the job done. And on the other side of things, this man could very well show up and neutralize you and get it done via unanimous or split decision. You understand what I'm saying to you? This is a fight I want nothing to do with. Question marks on both sides. Victor Henry's a -500 or above. You understand what I'm saying to you? Like, the only place for me to do anything is the money line of motherfucking Ronnie, something light. That's the only way I'd roll the dice on this fight, in my personal opinion, because that crazy -6-something, 700 money line, it just doesn't do shit for anything in any way, shape, form, or fashion. You feel me? Moving on, the Dirty Bird, Timothy Meads versus Euros Metric, man. And I'm on a Dirty Bird. I'm on another dog. You understand what I'm saying to you? In Dirty Bird for a whole lot of reasons. Like I stated for some of these other individuals, but more so for the Dirty Bird. Man, that level of competition, that resume, that body work, undeniably incomparable to Euros Metric's resume, body of work, or level of competition. You understand what I'm saying to you? Euros Metric succumb to my boy Jalen Turner's long limbs. You understand what I'm saying to you? And listen, the Dirty Bird's gonna make it messy for him. He's gonna put him in a fight he don't necessarily want to be in. He's gonna clip this man. When he clips this young man, he might clean him up and just keep on him until he knocks him clean the fuck out, or he might slip that motherfucking choke in and take this man's neck, you know what I mean? Take this man's neck home with him. You understand what I'm saying to you? Like, the Dirty Bird is nasty, man. He might knock him cold standing up. Clean elbow, clean check hook. Like, the Dirty Bird nasty, and he possesses a 4-inch reach advantage in this fight. I'm guessing folk are looking at Dirty Bird or overlooking Dirty Bird because what? The age discrepancy? Because he's like 40 and Euros Metric is like 30. It's probably the same thing down at the bottom of the card with Benitez versus Old Boy. Like, why the fuck is that? In my personal opinion, them lines should be switched, if anything. You understand what I'm saying to you? Due to the resumes, the body of work, and the, you know, the level of competition that these individuals have been up against, and the fact that also in this fight, fucking Dirty Bird is by far the more dangerous individual. You understand what I'm saying to you? Like, Euros Metric, I said it before, he gonna show up. He gonna be the more technical practitioner with a little bit more pop on each individual shot. But Dirty Bird's gonna make it dirty, man. He gonna make it nasty. He got a good pop on his jab. He got a 4-inch reach advantage. He nice with his fucking counters. He'll reach it. He'll get to that motherfucking Muay Thai clinch with nasty fucking elbows, lunging elbows. You understand what I'm saying to you? He's coming out of the clinch, off of the clinch with elbows. You understand what I'm saying to you? The man will throw knees up the fucking middle. Not to say that Euros Metric doesn't throw his own little bit of flashy shit, but he not in close nasty and dirty like the Dirty Bird, man. And when that shit, when that gunfire start going off from both sides, more so than not, I see Euros Metric being the one getting clipped and cleaned up, man. Inside the distance, one way or the other. The Dirty Bird's walking away and cashing it, plus 250. That money line keeps rising, man. In my personal opinion, I'm just going to keep taking advantage of it. You understand what I'm saying to you? Timothy Meads has undeniably faced the higher level of competition. You understand what I'm saying to you? And he is undeniably the more dangerous individual inside that octagon. He possesses them same long, lanky limbs like Jalen Turner, too. So he could clip this man and sink that choke in and just wrap him the fuck up, man. I'm telling you, it's Dirty Bird, and it's the Dirty Bird inside the distance for all kinds of reasons. Now, y'all can chew me up in the comments, and maybe Euros Metric clips this man and gets him out of there. But more so than not, I see the Dirty Bird winning this one, man. I see the Dirty Bird winning this fight 9 out of 10 times. Call me crazy. You understand what I'm saying to you? But the style that the Dirty Bird possesses, you understand what I'm saying to you, mixed with his pressure and his talent and his motherfucking, how dangerous he is. You understand what I'm saying to you? Everywhere the fight goes, it's Dirty Bird, man. It's Dirty Bird inside the distance, man. Now, Jonathan Pierce versus David Onama. It's Jonathan Pierce for me. As soon as I saw the fight listed, it was Jonathan Pierce for me. I know David Onama's body of work and his whole resume. You understand what I'm saying too? And it's with all due respect that I say Jonathan Pierce is going to work out on this young man. You understand what I'm saying to you? I know one thing doesn't have anything to do with the other. You feel me? But if Nate Landwehr, and that's my dog, and Nate, if he's able to lock up and secure the takedowns and put the volume on this young man, in my personal opinion, Jonathan Pierce is going to overwhelm David Onama and get this one done inside the distance, or unanimous decision, 30-27 across the fucking board. You understand what I'm saying to you? Mark my words, man. At any given time when Jonathan Pierce is on his game 100%, he imposes a problem to that whole fucking division. You understand what I'm saying to you? Even up into the top 5, man. The boys like that. You understand what I'm saying to you? When he shows up and he's on his game, the man is good everywhere. You understand what I'm saying to you? And if he doesn't like the way something's going in one area, you understand what I'm saying to you? If he's not comfortable, he can take that shit to where he wants it. And in this fight right here, in my personal opinion, he can take this fight wherever the fuck he wants it. You feel me? And he's going to get it done however he wants to get it done. Jonathan Pierce, man. All day. Every day. Austin Lane versus old boy making his debut against Austin Lane. Fuck Austin Lane and his 4 fights in the UFC, 1, 2, and 1. You understand what I'm saying to you? He's another individual that never should have been in the UFC in the first place. It's a prime example of what I mean by taking the trash out. Just like some of them lower level women's MMA fights lower on the cards. Just taking the trash out. You understand what I'm saying to you? Get it the fuck up out of here. Regardless of the outcome of the fight, both sides might be the fuck up out of here. You understand what I'm saying to you? Like, just get the trash out. In my personal opinion, now I love all these fights, and I love watching all these fights, but Dana White and the UFC have created quite a few outlets with the Contender Series and the Looking for the Fighters, the Ultimate Fighters, so on and so forth. You understand what I'm saying to you? To get these lower level individuals that wouldn't necessarily ever be in the UFC before into the UFC, and now they have to create cards like this that are complete fucking shit shows through the first 6, 7 fights. You understand what I'm saying to you? To weed out the fucking trash, because they've let too much of it in. It used to be a time that, you know, the UFC was the pinnacle of the sport. You was either built for it or you wasn't. You understand what I'm saying to you? You either gonna make this shit or you couldn't. Like, we wasn't letting just anybody the fuck up in here to figure it out. Over these last couple years, that's what the fuck's been going on. And they figured it out. And that's why they've lined these fights up the way that they've lined them up, to go ahead and weed the fucking trash out. Now, with that being said, old boy's making his UFC debut. I don't better parlay anything like that unless I'm doing a haymaker and I feel like it. You feel what I'm saying to you? And I'm gonna rock with the boy making his UFC debut to go ahead and knock Austin Lane the fuck out, because it's Austin Lane. Old boy's 6-0, I believe. All 6 victories coming by finish. Maybe one of them didn't come by finish. You could let me know in the comments. I don't have that in front of me. You feel what I'm saying to you? I do know he's got a kickboxing background. You feel me? And I'm just gonna take old boy who's 6-0 to move to 7-0 and keep his 100% finishing rate intact by knocking Austin Lane the fuck out on Saturday. You understand what I'm saying to you? Let's go ahead and get past that. Lipsky versus Silva. Now, this is a women's MMA fight that I'm heavily invested in, not money wise or bet wise, but I'm real interested to see how Silva's able to perform against Lipsky, as I'm a big fan of Ariana Lipsky. You understand what I'm saying to you? And her all-around game. Now, if old girl is unable to get Ariana Lipsky to the ground, it could be a very long or a very short night for her, meaning she could get teed off on, or she could get put the fuck under. You understand what I'm saying to you? Now, on the other side of things, if this Silva young woman is able to get Lipsky to the ground, who's not easy to get to the ground, then she could promote a lot of problems for Lipsky on the ground. You understand what I'm saying to you? And I'm just interested to see if she's able to implement her ground game upon Lipsky the way she's been able to implement it in her four previous UFC fights. You understand what I'm saying to you? At a lower level of competition. You understand what I'm saying to you? That are easier to get to the ground and easier to implement your game on. Lipsky, not so much so. You understand what I'm saying to you? So I'm real interested in this fight. I'm gonna be locked in. I ain't even calling it a fight. It's a chess match. Lipsky does not want to go to the ground with this young woman, and I don't think this young woman wants to be on the feet with Lipsky. Moving along, Span versus Bogdan. We rocking with Span. That's a no-brainer for me. I think Span clips this man. I think Span clips this man inside the first round and makes him fucking face plant off the canvas. You understand what I'm saying to you? Like this soup cooler right here, just gonna bounce off the fucking canvas. He leaves himself too wide open. He doesn't belong in the UFC. You understand what I'm saying to you? That fuck shit that he does, you know, with his chin up here and his hands down here, and when he lunges at motherfuckers with his chin out here and one hand cocked back here and one hand over here, like, excuse me, that shit. He was able to get by with that shit on some of these lower level motherfuckers, but not a motherfucker like Span. Span not gonna let that shit fly, man. Span got a 3-inch reach in his fight too. Span gonna pop that jab out. Span got pop on his jab. Span got pop on every one of his individual shots. You understand what I'm saying to you? He's a man that possesses one-shot knockout power if he can catch you clean. You feel me? And I feel like he catches Bogdan clean 9 times out of 10. He wins this fight. He submit, you know, with the one time he loses being the 10th time, because he done knocked him out 6 times and submitted him 3 times and just slept on him the 10th time and got caught. That'd be the only way Bogdan wins this motherfucking fight. And all 10 of them fights would just have to be back to fucking back, so Span just be tired. Like, I don't see this man ever beating Span unless some freak ball shit happen, like off the wall nut shit happen. And I just don't see that happening, man. Span's gonna frustrate this man from the outside, cause him to lunge in like he always does. Span's gonna check hook his motherfucking ass smooth to sleep. It's all he has to do. It's all anybody has to do to this man. Work your jab, work the inside of his leg, work the jab, go for the outside of the leg. He gets so frustrated, lunges in, just boop, and put that motherfucker smooth under. You understand what I'm saying to you? Follow up for the cleanup if you want, but I don't think you'll need to, because I believe he's just gonna be unconscious. That soup cooler gonna bounce off the motherfucking canvas. That snot box gonna explode and just be leaking everywhere. He just gonna be done, man. He does not belong inside the UFC, in my personal opinion. And if for some reason, in some interaction, you understand what I'm saying to you, in that first 90 seconds, something happens and Span doesn't like it, Span will grab that man, kick that, sweep that one leg behind his, trip him down to the ground, and search for his submissions. He possesses more tools. He's the more well-rounded individual. And outside of Goose Guff's pop, you know, his power, which I believe Span has more pop and more power anyway. But besides that, Span has way more tools. Way more tools. Way more well-rounded. Way more dangerous. You understand what I'm saying to you? So it's Span, man. Nicolau versus Perez for the main event. You understand what I'm saying to you? We rocking with Nicolau in this one to go ahead and get it done. 3 rounds to 2, possibly 4 rounds to 1. I don't know if he gets it done inside the distance. You understand what I'm saying to you? I'd like to see it happen, but I personally think he gets it done 3 rounds to 2 or 4 rounds to 1. Undeniably, unanimous decision for Matheus Nicolau. And not to disrespect Alex Perez or anything like that. Both of these young men's losses that they're coming off of are very respectable, and not to be, you know, talk shit about Nicolau coming off a loss to Brandon Royval. Brandon Royval's a gap. You understand what I'm saying to you? Perez, he coming off of 3 losses. Davidson Figueroa, gap. Nothing to be mad at. You understand what I'm saying? Muhammad Makayev, gap. Nothing to be mad at. And Alexander Pantoja, gap. Nothing to be mad at. You understand what I'm saying to you? Now, with that being said, though, all 8 of the victories, maybe it's 8 victories, maybe it's more, all of the victories anyway that Alex Perez holds over people inside the UFC octagon prior to his 3-fight skid, none of those individuals are any longer signed to the UFC promotion. And if you go check in on them, most of them aren't doing good in the promotions that they are signed to and are at risk of getting their contracts taken from them over there. You understand what I'm saying to you? So it just wasn't good competition. You feel me? Or on the other side of things, Matheus Nicolau, I respect that resume a little bit more, and you can't do anything but respect his victory over Manel Kopp. I really wanted to see Nicolau versus Kopp too, to see how Kopp was going to approach the second fight with Nicolau, and if he was going to be able to stuff the takedowns coming from that side. You understand what I'm saying to you? But we didn't get to see that fight. We're not getting to see the Joel Alvarez versus Matheus Rebecki fight. I really wanted to see that fight. You understand what I'm saying to you? But yeah. With that being said, it's Matheus Nicolau. It's Ryan Span. Just interested, just a fan in the Silva versus Lipsky fight. You understand what I'm saying to you? It's old boy making his debut to go ahead and knock Austin Lane the fuck out. You understand what I'm saying to you? It's Jonathan Pierce to get it done, possibly inside the distance, but definitely by unanimous decision. It's the Dirty Bird, Timothy Means, to get it done by any means necessary inside the distance. And if by some means, some weird ass freak shit it goes to the cards, it's gonna be a bloody fucking mess, and it's gonna be Timothy Means on the cards. You understand what I'm saying to you? By any means necessary, this fight's getting won by the Dirty Bird. And he looked good and to be in good spirits while cutting weight and, you know what I mean, at the pressers and everywhere else I've been checking for him at. You understand what I'm saying to you? So he's only built my confidence in him. You know what I mean? So it's the Dirty Bird. I'm watching. I'm just a fucking fan. You feel me? For the Ronnie versus Henry fight. I'm leaning Hubbard, unfortunately, to go ahead and get it done against Figlak and move to 4-5 inside the UFC. You understand what I'm saying to you? I'm leaning Mays to go ahead and use his UFC experience, those 11 fights he has inside the UFC octagon in the heavyweight division against that level of competition, and the, you know, the more well-rounded game that he has approaching this fight. As long as they put a good game plan together for Mays, I'm leaning Mays to go ahead and win this fight. I have no pick on the man in Souza. I have no pick on the Chris Patilla versus James, whatever double L's on top. I don't know how to say that man's last name, man. Taco versus Goku. No pick. Just gonna sit back and watch that one, and hopefully it's a good fucking fight. Hopefully it's a firecracker, you feel me? Nothing on Ivana versus Na. And Benitez to start the card off with a dog, man. I like Benitez, you understand what I'm saying to you? And that's, I mean, I'm confident in them dog picks, man. I'm confident in Benitez to get this fight done. I got him winning this fight 8 times out of 10. I'm confident in the Dirty Bird to get that one done. I got him winning that fight 10 times out of 10. I mean, maybe I'm being biased, but even if that's the case, I'd say 9 times out of 10, maybe 8 times out of 10. Maybe Euros could catch that man 1 or 2 times out of 10. I don't see it happening, man. The level of competition that Magic has been up against, and then you take a look at Dirty Bird's resume, man, and he's an OG veteran. You understand what I'm saying to you? That knows how to bite down on that mouthpiece and make it fucking dirty, and by any means necessary, do what he needs to do to get it done. Like, I'm confident in that dog pick, man. So if I gotta rub that one in my chest Sunday, I'll be all right with it. I'm confident in the dog pick and Benitez too, man. I'm not really sure. I know Jonathan Pierce is a favorite, you feel me? And I know Matheus, Nicolau, and Ryan Spann are favorites, you feel me? I think Hubbard's a dog, so that's a lean towards a dog. I'm not sure where Mays and Machado's sitting at right now, but I'm leaning Mays, you understand what I'm saying to you? But yeah, man, confident dog picks, Benitez and Dirty Bird. Most confident dog pick, Dirty Bird, and he's the biggest dog, so I'm just taking advantage of that, man. Yeah, that's that with that, man. I'm gonna go ahead and tap back in a little later on. And what's tomorrow? Tomorrow, Thursday. I'll tap in Thursday and we'll talk about those FanDuel props, because all of them should have dropped by then. You understand what I'm saying to you? We'll talk about the parlays I put in, you feel me? And then we'll talk about different ways that if you want a Victor Henry train, you feel me, or some of these other sizable favorites or whatnot, you know, how to turn their money lines into plus numbers for you. You understand what I'm saying to you? But yeah, man, Benitez and the Dirty Bird, Matheus, Nicolau, Ryan Spann, and Jonathan Pierce are my 5 most confident picks. You understand what I'm saying to you? I like Ryan Spann. I like Jonathan Pierce. I like Matheus, Nicolau. I really like the Dirty Bird, Timothy Means, and I like Gabriel Benitez. You understand what I'm saying to you? Appreciate any of y'all that tapped in. I'll tap back in a little bit later on, and we'll go over everything, you know, I already talked about, you feel me? So before I'm any more redundant than I've already been, I'm gonna go ahead and tap out, man. Appreciate y'all.